everyone. Thanks again for tuning in to Sim's Workshop. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So, today we're going to be discussing Book of Nights by Holly Black. This is her introduction into adult fantasy. I'm not familiar with Holly Black's previous work. Cruel Prince, Wicked King, Queen of Nothing. Haven't read anything by her before, but I have been intrigued by her stuff. I feel like it's something I would like. So I decided, hey, let's pick up her adult fantasy, especially because I don't know why I didn't grab it beforehand. See if I can get it out of here. Ugh. Lots of books. So many books. Woo! Woo! Especially because, this cover, especially the naked cover, is quite beautiful. Look at those end pages. Look at that. So pretty. So I thought, yay, let's buy it, right? Was it worth it? I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. The reason being, I was left really underwhelmed by the book as a whole. And it's you see this. It's not a big book. It should have been a quick read for me. It took me 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to read this book. That's a lot for 320 pages. 2 weeks. That's saying something. I think my biggest problem with this book was the pacing. I will say this. Black did a really good job of going back and forth between the past and the present, especially because the past scenes, those chapters, those segments, didn't always focus on Charlie, your main character. They focused on other characters. There was a fluidity to that switch. If you've watched my YouTube videos, you know whenever people do that, sometimes they can do it in such a jarring way that takes me out of the story. For this one, it fit. It moved fluidly and kept up the momentum of the story. That's something I did like. I did like the fantasy element of the story as well. Until, the concept of being able to control your shadow and even alter your appearance by altering your shadow, or even altering your memories by altering, that's so really fascinating to me. I thought that was really well done and really, really cool. However, Black went into too much detail discussing different positions within the Glomus community, especially because for me they seem to come at really odd moments in the story, and I'm like, is this really important at this moment to go into this much detail over what this position means and what it means to have this position? It didn't seem important to me, and for me, that's what took me out of the story. There was too much detail and world building at the oddest moments that completely ruined the pacing of the story for me. Then you also have the mystery, First of all, it's really hard when you're reading to understand how these certain different mysteries that she's trying to solve, Charlie, that our main character is trying to solve. When you're reading it, when I was reading it, I was like, okay, how does this fit into the grand scheme of these? Is this really important? What the hell is this? It was just distracting. It felt very, very convoluted. And considering Charlie is a former con man and she's a current bartender, she's a flawed character. I did like that she was an incredibly flawed character who's trying to do better for herself and for her sister. More importantly, for her sister. She doesn't want her sister involved in any of her messes. Because the story was so distracting, I wasn't really able to connect to Charlie as a character. And I wanted to. I really did want to, because I do think she was a fascinating character. I did like her narrative. But at times I was just like, Charlie, is this really what you should be focusing on right now? Like, get your head in the game. Your life is at stake right now. Sometimes I was just kind of annoyed. But not with her. It was more of I was annoyed with the story, taking her to these different parts. And I'm like, how is this important to the overall arc of your story? It was very, very distracting for me. And to me, that ruined the pacing of the story, and it ruined the momentum, and it really put a damper on my enjoyment overall. Because, again, I wasn't really able to connect to the characters because the story just seemed all over the place. I mean, when you get to the end, you're just like, oh, okay. When she does her aha moment and reveals the bad guy for who he is, you're just like, oh, that's how everything fits together. But as you're reading it, it was just kind of, what? Which was really, really disappointing to me, because I really wanted to like this book. So unfortunately, this book only gets 3 out of 5 stars. And that's a soft 3. I say that because as much as I enjoyed aspects of the story, overall I was left underwhelmed. However, I am intrigued with the idea that Black is doing a sequel to this book, and I want to read it. So I want to continue this journey. So that says a lot. That says something. Or maybe it's just my obsessive compulsive need to finish a series. We'll see. It gets 3 out of 5 stars. And it honestly, it doesn't really make me want to read more of Holly Black's work, like her other series. Like, I want to finish this series, but do I really want to read her other stuff? I'm not so sure about that. Anyway, once again, 3 out of 5 stars. If you want to purchase the book, I will include links in the description below to where to purchase it. These are affiliate links, so they will help support me and Sin's Workshop. If you want to become further support Sin's Workshop, rather, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and also share with all your book loving friends. You can also become a supporter on Buy Me a Coffee or by following me on any of my social media outlets. All the links to all of that will be in the description below. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.